Hello, hello, hello. Uh-oh. All right, sorry about that. Yes, I do apologize for being a little bit late. We're going to get started here. Wow, what a day. I did not expect it to be so quick. Honestly, I was told, hey, it might come out tonight, but I really did not believe that. I was getting ready to get my stuff to get out of there, and then all of a sudden, yeah, flurry. So we'll get into it. Yes, I have all the details. Give me a minute. I just want to let people get in here for a minute because I know I switched all the times around too. I didn't have great reception by the courthouse. As you can imagine, there were hundreds of people and all sorts of press on their phones and things like that. So I did mean to live stream, but didn't work. Sorry, y'all. Yes, we're going to get any questions y'all have, put them here, of course. And I'm also going to invite some people, see if they want to come on and talk. I know that Emily and Rob are streaming, which is really cool. One second. Was I on TV? I think I was on the live stream actually, so that is cool. I did not see it, of course, but I heard that during sentencing I was. If y'all want to send me that on Twitter, anything like that, that would be fun, of course. I appreciate it. All right, let me get. I don't really have a PowerPoint set up, so let me work on at least getting a header page for y'all because it is day 28. Day 28, almost 30 days in the Alec Murdaugh trial. March 2nd. And he was found guilty after only 3 hours. After only 3 hours. All right, presenting. If y'all did not see, I was on Fitz News, which was really cool. Will Folks is great. Fitz News is great. So yeah, let's just I'm gonna answer some questions real quick as they come. I see some super stickers. Thank you very much. Let me pin this from Lisa. Thank you very much. So depending on where you lie, this could either be a celebration or maybe you're upset by it, but we definitely have a lot to talk about as far as just inside what was going on. The juror who was released, also the foreperson, if y'all are interested who the foreperson is, and the alternate. So, any questions about the jury, I will answer. A question from Ray: which juror was dismissed, and how do you think it impacted the verdict? Okay, yes, let's get to that. The juror that was released was the juror I have named, and let me get to it in this slide. Blondie. So Blondie was released, and if you didn't see exactly or you were kind of confused, actually this juror had two issues. So I talked about this on my stream yesterday. One of the issues was the email issue, and basically this person's ex-husband had posted that their ex-spouse was part of the jury and had said some things. Now this post was deleted, but that was still an issue. Second part was basically that excuse me, sorry, I'm seeing the chat funny, but the second part that was an issue for this juror was I guess they had spoken to people outside of the trial and someone had told the judge. They had a whole thing where they interviewed all the people involved. They found out this juror, while they didn't say a lot, did say their opinion about some of the evidence and let them go. Now the rumor is that they were on the side of defense, and that's just this, the word on the street. So I don't know about that in totality, but I think it could have impacted the verdict in some way. Although you might have had other people in the foreperson who were just very strong-headed and say, "Listen, this is how we feel. You can either spend, a week, going over all of this, or you can vote guilty and we can all go home and, get out of there for dinner. So I really was shocked it was 3 hours. Question from Kelly Casper: how did the jury act during the reading of the verdict? Yeah, so let me go through the whole story. That's a good question. Let's take a few minutes and see if anyone else. I'm actually gonna send a few messages, but let's go through the whole story of what happened when they brought the jury in, the jury's reactions. I don't know if you all we want the reactions of the jury members today, but we can do that as well. I'm gonna save some things real quick. I was on Fitz News earlier, so Fitz News is a local news station here. Supposedly, it stands for first in the South, but that's just a rumor that's online. There's very many different ideas of what it stands for. I could not get an answer from Will, which is hilarious. But question from Ray: how did the jury react to Jim's emotionality? There was no reaction to that, which I thought was quite interesting because it came very quick and it left. It was really just a few seconds where he got very um, choked up, basically, and then it faded. But it was not long enough for really a lot of people to notice, and I don't think the jury really. I don't think it had much of an impact because I didn't see any response from them. Loretta, question: who do you think will speak tomorrow? Speak on Alex's behalf? Probably his sister, maybe Buster. Maybe John Marvin. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll speak on his own behalf. I don't know. It's 9:30 in the morning, so we'll see. Tank Girl wants me to tell Poot to cut his hair. I will try. Agnes. Actually, I should have asked him that on the live stream, shouldn't I have? Agnes. Question: what family was there for Alex for the verdict reading besides Buster? Yeah. So the family that was there was Buster, Brooklyn, Lynn, and her husband. Question: were you in the courtroom for the verdict? Jenny from Georgia. Yes, I was. We'll get to that. We're going to get to this story because I know people probably want to hear it. Like, give me a few minutes. If there's any other questions about the jury or things like that, I'll get to those first. Super chat from Sharon Ken Sharp. Thank you very much. James, you are so informative. Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, what do y'all feel? Do you feel like this was a good decision? Do you think it was a bad decision? I want to know your opinion. A question from Suze: did you know the jury was shown on live TV as Alex was being taken to the courtroom? I did see that on Twitter. That's awful. Awful, awful. Saving some questions. I appreciate you all. We're going to get to it. Hold with me for a second. I know it's a slow start, but there's just a lot of questions I want to get to, and I want to save some of these. I'm also going to invite some other people. Buster, real quick, was very calm, but you could tell that he was, calm as in he wasn't crying or anything, but he was nervous. He was shaking like his leg and itching his eyebrow, which is like a nervous thing that he does. Jenny thinks that John Marvin will speak, definitely a possibility. Who will speak for the victims? I don't know about that actually. Possibly Maggie's sister? I don't know. One second, sorry. Okay, sorry. Randy was not there actually. So I think that's interesting. Terry LaBeth, great job. James plans for next trial. We'll get to that, I think. Brian Koberger. We do have, yeah, we have victim impact statements, and we also have, yeah, well, who knows, actually. Yes, Randy was not there yesterday either. Yes. Okay. So, by the way, this is the jury breakdown, if you haven't seen this yet. We lost 4, but then today we lost Blondie. And then the alternate was who I call Blanket Lady, which you all know, and she was dropped as well. Oh, sorry. Shoot, this got disconnected for a second. Okay. Uh, back to questions. Blondie was upset only in the sense that I think that it wasted her time. She wasn't actually like sad or anything. She actually smiled at the judge, and the judge was really nice to her. So that was really good. Seaberg, thank you for the super sticker. I did not get anyone's autograph. Harry, question, what surprised me the most about today? How quick the jury came back, basically. I did not expect that to be so quick. I did not see that they showed the jury on the live stream. All right, but let's get on here because I want to explain what happened and what the reactions were to the actual verdict reading because it was quite mayhem. I don't know if y'all were expecting it to be so quick. I was not. As I said, I was getting ready to leave. I was in the media room. So off of the courthouse, there's a media room, and all of a sudden the court feed went on, and it showed the courthouse inside of the courtroom, and everyone started rushing. And this was probably like 2 minutes before I was about to do my stream earlier, which is why I tweeted out that I was going to go into court. So everyone started to rush. We went inside. I knew that it had probably something to do with a verdict, or at least was serious because Becky Hill's daughter was in court and she's the clerk of court. So when she was there, we knew. And then the bailiff came and he basically yelled at everyone. He told everyone to be quiet and to sit down and to not jeer or cheer, and that whether they liked the verdict or not, to not make any reaction. So that's when it was confirmed that it was actually a verdict. All the jurors came out. The juror that I call Queen Latifah was actually quite happy, it looked like, and she was bouncing. So I felt like, plus, it was so quick that most people knew that it was going to be guilty anyway, if it was that quick. Alex looked very anxious. Lynn, his sister, looked extremely anxious in court. Buster did have his head down, which, I mean, they probably knew what was coming. And then, of course, when they read the verdict, Lynn got quite upset and she grabbed Buster's shoulder from behind. But the courtroom was definitely, I mean, it was shocked. And I don't know how you all feel, but it was kind of surreal to be there. I'm not going to lie. Hey, Line Mom. Yes, so the four-person, real quick, was the woman on here that I have named White Hair. She was probably about Maggie's age. So, and she was the four-person. Mary Coppola for the super chat. Thank you. What do you think sentence will be? I think the judge will throw the book life to make a point. I mean, it's possibly it was two of them. I mean, either way, it's life for him. I mean, think about it. The minimum times two. I mean, that's it. Plus all the financial crimes. But the judge might do that. Absolutely. Seaberg, thank you for the super sticker. Yeah, so I guess they showed her on the stream. That's insane. That's awful they showed her on the stream. I can't believe they showed one of the jury member. This is going to be a big deal. I guess tomorrow is we'll talk about, and I'll ask people in court because that is, I mean, court TV is probably going to get fined for this. That's huge. Y'all telling me you saw her on the stream, the four-person. So that's extremely. Yeah, they showed all of them. I'm gonna get this clip for this, and maybe I'll even text Chanley. I can imagine she's probably dealing with a nightmare. I didn't hear anything about this after court though. Maybe because all of the media that sits in court are the same people that were outside at the press conference. So none of us spoke about it or said anything. I didn't hear anything about that, but I will ask. Law and Crime showed them as well. All right, I'll ask Gigi from Pretty Lies and Alibis on Law and Crime. That is insane that they showed all the jurors. Yes, the four-person had shoulder-length white hair. Wow. News Nation shared a clip with it. All of these stations are going to be fined. This is insane. This is really insane. All of these stations are going to be fined significantly. They should be, right? What do you all think about that? Don't you think that's a huge violation of privacy? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Tell me what you think. That's such a shame, y'all. Such a shame. I mean, I guess their information is private. Is this okay though to show jurors on a live stream? I understand, but I don't know if I mean, their privacy is supposed to be protected from the media and from the public. Whatever. I mean, I guess it's not a big deal. And they are free to talk on their own will, but to have their identities made public like that, Dog's foster mom 2018. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Question from Zoe. What kind of eggs did Blondie bring? I don't know. She had a bag. But yes, That was very funny when she got dismissed and the judge asked her, if she had any things in there. She said yes. He said, "Okay, what things?" She said, "A dozen eggs." It was a good moment. I mean, and that's why I think she probably didn't mind leaving as well because listen, she had to get whatever she was doing with those eggs, making cupcakes, making an omelet, Easter eggs. Exactly. People in the media joke those must have been some good eggs because I mean, she must have either went to like a farm place like right in the morning or something like that. Why come to court with a dozen eggs? So, eggs are very expensive right now, so you never know. But yeah, let's talk about the family members that were there again. It was Buster, Brooklyn, Lynn, and her husband. John Marvin was not there. Randy was not there. In the beginning, before the jury came out and everything, Alec and who was it? It was Jim Griffin were FaceTiming someone. We don't know if it was Harpootlian or possibly Randy, but John Marvin and Randy did not show up. I'll see if they all show up tomorrow because maybe they'll show up for sentencing, of course. But just to let y'all know, they didn't show up today. Mary Coppola, thank you very much. Saw a jury on mainstream media, but not LawTuber channels. Judge said their info would be sealed unless they chose to speak. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe it's not. Olivia Darling, the first row female juror with the dark red hair next to the beard guy with glasses, wouldn't look at Alex when he walked past her. Hmm, very telling, yes. Samwise Joe says EDB saw it and cut the camera as soon as she realized. Exactly, that's why EDB is cool as well. Emily D. Baker. Dana McDonald, question: thoughts on whether Marion or other Maggie Murdaugh family will give victim impact statements? I don't know. I think they don't want anything to do with this. None of them showed up. They really didn't testify other than just Maggie and her husband. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll make statements, but I think they know he's going away for life, and I think this is probably justice for them. So, yeah. But I guess if y'all see, y'all know now the judges. I mean, not the judges, the jurors. Question from Denise James. Find out what Gucci receipt was about at the beginning of the trial. They kept mentioning at the beginning and never got back to it. I think it was to show that he went and bought the similar, right? A gun, guns like that. Like he had just purchased a similar gun or ammo or things like that, right? I don't know. There's so many loose ends with this trial. But let's see some reactions. Or wait, actually, question from Jamie. What case are you handling next? I'll set up a GoFund for you to help fund it. Appreciate it, but maybe not necessary, depending on where I am, because it might be Florida, actually. But the next one, I would like to do Coburger in Idaho, so that's in Idaho. Question: do you feel like prosecution speech sounded more like a campaign for re-election? Possibly. I mean, it was the attorney general. I will say some of the media people rolled their eyes and stuff at him, but this is the media, and I don't think they liked him. But it did sound a little high and mighty, I guess is the right word. And just real quick, as I see the comments about Gucci, the Gucci was not the brand Gucci, like the luxury brand. It's a gun maker that's called Gucci. Oh, the judge's wife was also there for the verdict reading. Let's see what else. When Alex Murdaugh got there, he sat down. He was shaking his head back and forth slightly, so I think he was nervous. The jurors also sat in very different spots this time, completely different spots than I mean, they never sit in the same spots every time, but they sort of sit in the same row or the same 2 or 3 spots, and 1 or 2 or 3 will move around every few days. But this time they're all sitting in different seats, which was interesting. Also, I don't know if y'all saw, but Blanket Lady was singled out because she was the alternate. And, and then immediately when they brought her in, she stood there and yawned. And I just thought was funny. I mean, she's a funny one, so if y'all know Blanket Lady. A question from Loretta: how can we watch your interview on Fitz News? I'll post it. It's on Twitter. Or maybe fitznews.com. Do they have the website? I should look. St. Pat Brat, is Judge Newman's wife as adorable as he is? Yes, she is. Excuse me. And funny story about Judge Newman's wife. So I always thought that the judge had turned the courtroom cold to keep the jury from sleeping because this was after he started to make people stand up because the jury was falling asleep. The truth is that his wife was the one that was falling asleep and that he would make everyone stand up so that she would stand up too and that she would not fall asleep. Basically, she's retired and it's a way for them to spend time together. So she goes to court and sits there and she can watch him all day. So I think that's actually kind of nice. If you like that story. Pat Scott, question: how did Jerry respond to the Velveteen Rabbit when Meters, uh, oh, the lawyer first mentioned? Eh, they didn't respond. They weren't super responsive, besides for at very, very certain moments. But again, this is towards the end, and they're trying to be. I mean, you have Blanket Lady, and she's just bored the whole time. She's looking out into the audience and doing other things like that, but she's not responsive in that kind of way. Not to this comment. Yes, Fitz News also has a YouTube channel. Check them out, Fitz News. My interview should be there. Alicia DeFore, can you post the interview to Instagram too for those who don't have Twitter? Yes, absolutely. 100%. Question from Grumpy Cat: did you see the juror that was snoozing during the closing arguments? Yes, so I wouldn't say snoozing like falling asleep, but closing eyes for, 30 seconds here and there. Yes, absolutely. That did happen. A question from Recovery Addict: did prosecutors and defense interact after the verdict? No. No. Besides for like a little like chat, it wasn't like they shook hands. But they also had different jobs. The prosecution, I mean, everything happened quite quick and everyone left because of the press conference and because they had to get ready. A question: was Jim sick today? I don't know. I don't think so. Question: James, Gucci doesn't make guns or ammo. It's a wrap on the gun with Gucci logo. Hmm. Is that what they said? My bad. I don't remember that. I remember the people next to me in court saying otherwise. But yeah, maybe it's a wrap, but I don't think it's the luxury brand. But maybe okay. Uh, Jin and Barrett, Did media see approach jury members with questions? Will you be approaching them? No, but I do know someone who knows, they specialize in getting in touch with them, so I will see about that when that happens. I don't think that was happening today. I'm sure that there's some of the networks that are already working on it, but you're not really allowed to follow the jury home or anything like that. You're not allowed to follow their van. And the judge made it clear not, you can't harass them. Now they can reach out to the media and maybe if the media sees them in their cars, around in the parking lots that they know they get picked up at, it's another thing. Maybe they get a note on their windshield like, hey, it's ABC, we'll pay you $10,000, you know. But as far as walking right up to them, as they're trying to fumble for their keys to get in their car, no, probably not. A question from Lucia GJ on Fitz News. You were a natural. Hot Mike Mint. Thank you. Appreciate that. Beach Bum, super sticker, thank you. Which juror replaced the blonde lady today? From Janelle. Okay, so she was replaced by who I have named as Big Beard. A question from Anna. Did Jim Griffin look sad after the verdict since he was Alex's actual friend? I mean, defeated, I would say more so than sad, I guess. But I don't know. I, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean he's not sad, of course. JR, sorry I'm here late. Was Alex Murdaugh's brother here for the verdict? No, I'm just looking to make sure. No, it was just Buster, Brooklyn, Lynn, and Lynn's husband. Kyle Rupert, thanks for your coverage, James. Get yourself a camera. Yes, absolutely, my friend. Question from Sinbad. Did you see OJ's video on Twitter about the trial? I did. It's very weird. What do you all think about OJ's video? Very odd, right? Thank you, Nick Miller, for the super chat. Did you read Fitz News article on Egg Lady? I did not read their article on Egg Lady. I talked to Will after court and went on a stream with them that they were doing online, but I didn't have a chance to actually read the article. I'm sure it's very funny because Egg Lady was hilarious. Question from Suze. Did you know Judge Newman was the judge for the fake Uber driver murder trial? I did not. That's really interesting. A question from Still a Widow. Your opinion of the Oscar acceptance speech to media post verdict? Yeah, it was a little much, but I mean, he knows that that's his 15 minutes that he's gonna get, so why not give it? Amy Juroff. Question. I missed a lot of it. Did the jurors have any clarification requests? They asked for monitors and some more information, but that's it. Oh, I'm seeing I had a hot mic moment. Oh, about my mint? Oh, lovely. Okay. Well, all right, y'all saw that. Question from Grumpy Cat again. I heard Jim Griffin did a wink to post after his closing statements. Did you catch it? I don't see that. I did see it on stream though, so yes. Question. Did Buster show any reaction afterwards? During the reading, he looked unaffected. Nice try. My name, it's pronounced Alicia. Oh, yes, okay. That makes more sense. Alicia. Yeah. He was, nervous. He hasn't shown any reaction throughout this whole trial, but I think he's probably in shock to an extent, and he was obviously upset. He had his head in his hands, and his face was very, very red. So, a JRA question: who do you think will talk on Alex Murdaugh's behalf? I don't know. I Yeah, I don't know. Probably John Marvin, probably Lynn, his sister, maybe Buster, but I wonder about Buster now because he was very much in the dark with a lot of this, and now, his father's being convicted. I wonder if you know, changes his opinion. Or Alex Murdaugh might speak for himself. St. Pat Brat was the judge's wife there every day? For the most part, yeah. I can't say every single day, but I know she went to see him. Question from Birdie Rose. Oh, that just disappeared. My bad. Did you see Alex mouth "I love you" to Buster, and how did Buster respond? Yes. And I didn't see because I saw the back of Buster's head. So I didn't see that, but I did see Alec turn around and mouth that to him. I was watching Alec quite intently because I wanted to see his reaction. And that was a nice moment, of course. I just got to feel bad for Buster in that moment, which is sad. Nick Miller, question check. Twitter DM sent article says jury was 11-1 to start. Egg Lady dug in not guilty. Okay, so she changed it. I can see that. Licknich, sorry about last night. All good. I don't think. All good. Thank you for the super chat. Nothing to be sorry about. JRA, question: are you packing up and leaving after the punishing phase? Yes, I will stay for a couple days, maybe talk to other people as well, and then head out. Did Alex say I'm sorry? I don't think so. I see this question. Maybe tomorrow. Question from Audro D. Why does it still say sunglasses? Because that's what I nicknamed him. My bad. It's one of the jurors. Question from alleged defendant. Anyone talking around court about Paul and the Stephen Smith case? Yes, they do. But there's a lot of speculation that some of that sensationalized. But now I guess we'll have to see. We'll see what the truth is with that. There'll be more investigations, possibly. I think I heard they're opening up another investigation, and of course, you have all the people like the Manny Murdaugh podcast and things like that. Oh, did I misspeak? Yeah, Egg Lady got sent home. She did. Sinbad wants to know about the media party. Yeah, I could tell you all about that real quick. 1 second. Wendy, thank you very much for the super chat. Every super chat goes, or super sticker, my apologies. Every super sticker and super chat goes towards me just finalizing getting a camera so I can actually see y'all. And that'll be fun because we can have a proper conversation. I don't know which trial I'll be covering next, but whatever I do, I'll have a camera for it, so that'll be awesome. Question from Kim Gritton. What's the hot mic incident with Court TV? I don't know what Court TV. Y'all have to tell me what that is. I know there's a hot mic apparently with me on Fitz News, but I don't think that's what they were talking about, of course. So, Court TV, tell me what the hot mic moment is. We'll talk about that. But this is it's it's been a crazy day. It was a long day. Wasn't expecting it to just to get done in 3 hours. Although we had heard rumors that they were not going to get dinner. So it said interesting. I mean, it was interesting because a lot of the media people were sticking around. But today, I'll say the jurors were a lot more engaged, especially with the final defense. State prosecutor. My apologies. So I felt like they were not bored. I felt like he had their attention, and he ended sort of on a good note, in my opinion. And maybe not the best note, but what I'm trying to say as far as the jurors' reactions, they were not as bored as I've seen them in the past. So I thought that that was a good, at least. A question from JRA. Sorry if you already spoke about this. What did Pooh talk about in the early interview? It was hard to hear. He was just joking around with the media. They were asking him just softball questions like, how, when are we going to hear if there's an update on what the jurors want? He was actually making fun of some guy for how he was dressed, which I thought was interesting. They know each other, but it was just interesting that they were doing that, going kind of a back and forth. And then they asked him why him and Jim had switched, and Dick didn't do opening and closing, and they had said that they had planned that the entire time, but the judge wouldn't allow it, and then I guess they convinced the judge, or them and state prosecutors both agreed to it, so that's why they did it. Reap what you saw. So, why was Egg Lady sent home? She was sent home because she, well, ultimately because she spoke to other people about it, not because of her ex-husband talking about it, but it was because she spoke to people she knew about being on the jury. Question from Becca. Was that you? You're back on a video from the party? Yes, it was. How did jurors respond to Jim's closing? I thought it was a fumble. I mean, I guess we saw how they responded. They found him guilty, but he lost a few of them at some points, especially when he went through the slides going over the cell phone metadata again about turning on and turning off and orientation change. He definitely lost some of the jurors at that moment, but just two. So I wouldn't say a huge deal. Question, editor Daniel Marie. How did the jury respond to Jim's closing? Okay, I just said that. Ange Mage. James, hope you don't mind this old cat lady saying you look handsome. Love the haircut. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Teacher Terry, question. Wonder if Alex will be in his usual suit or jail clothes for sentencing. Does that change once you're convicted? Good question. Very good question. Scorpio Soul, will you be heading to Idaho? Daybell Valocaster severed, and she starts her 10-week trial on April 3rd. I heard. I don't know if I'll be going to that because that's a very long trial and it's kind of very sad. Alleged defendant, you said you were going to tell the story of the reading of the verdict. Can we hear that? Yeah, I thought I did a little bit, but I will. I'll do it right now. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So basically, once we all got into court and the bailiff told us to settle down, sit down, there was a lot of nervous energy. They brought out the jurors. The jurors all looked down. They didn't look up at the audience, really. They were brought to their seats, and then it was read. I mean, Buster, again, was nervous at first. Lynn looked nervous. They got visibly more upset as it, went on and the guilty verdicts were read. Lynn comforted Buster. She rubbed his shoulder. I couldn't see Buster from the front. If you all say that he was crying, I mean, I saw him put his head in his hands. I saw his face, I mean, bright red. So I'll believe that you all say he was crying. But it was a crazy day. Question from Sarah: did any of the jurors make eye contact with anyone when they returned from the verdict? Oh, no. Sorry, I just said that, but no, they didn't. Thank you very much for the super chat, Terry. It is interesting. I mean, I will say it doesn't really matter, but I think him and his girlfriend have a good connection. She definitely feels it feels like she is kind of in a hard position being there. She's there to support him, but it's got to be tough. She has a little bit more emotion, but it's not her family as well. A question from Deidre Simmons: how crazy was it for Alex Murdaugh to be led by the jury after verdict? I mean, yeah, but everything. I mean, they bring one of the jury members out through the courtroom every day after court now after the elevator broke, and basically, they walk through right past the family. So that's been happening. Jenny from Georgia wants to know if I would join a team of journalists if I was offered. Of course. Yeah, as long as I could keep my integrity and the truth. Of course. But real quick, let me tell the story about last night about the media party because that was kind of fun. Yeah. Oh, I see that right now, Olivia Girl. Okay, so I'll talk about that. The media party basically it was set up by one of the attorneys for someone involved with the boat case, and he's a big media person as well. The problem is, I felt like a lot of the times he was on the side of the defense, but that's fine. Everyone can, do what they do, I guess. But he was actually quite nice in the end, and he put on a party for everyone there, and it was actually really cool. They had music, and the singer was Becky Hill's daughter. So Becky Hill's the civil court clerk, and her daughter was performing. So that was kind of cool. And it was catered by a local food truck that had barbecue. So there was all sorts of good food. All the media people there, open bar, which is kind of interesting. But again, South Carolina, this is how it is. This is how the culture is here. There was, yeah, an open bar, music. Everyone was talking. You had I mean, the clerk there. You had other people from the staff, the court staff there mingling with the media. It was a lot of fun. It was hilarious. Definitely not what I saw during the Johnny Depp trial at all. So, but it was fun. And I'm not talking about Eric Blandon. I'm talking about a different attorney. Kimberly, thank you for the super chat. Open bar and barbecue. Yep, not bad. All right, sorry about that. I think the audio cut out. Oh, y'all, it's been hard. It's been a long week, a long day. I tried hotspotting, and I think my stream and my laptop is not the best. So this is all part of getting better at this because I did not start out to be a YouTuber, so apologize. Question, Tammy, did you notice if Mark Tinsley was there for the verdict? I did not notice if he was there. It was very quick. They only gave us like 30 minutes. So y'all have to see in the feed. I'm not sure though. But we'll see, I guess, tomorrow what happens with sentencing, of course. There was no dancing. Actually, the clerk of court was dancing last night during the party. But that's it. It was fun. I mean, that's definitely, again, as I said, not something I'm used to, but it was interesting to have at the courthouse here. It's all part of the culture. Question from Dana. Lee, which juror did Metters tell to listen to him during closing? No, I think he was just telling all of them. I don't think he was talking to anyone specifically. Question, Judge lost a son pros or def push for trial. Yeah, Tammy McGrath, thank you very much for the super chat. And Fred Ali too. Let me look at this. Can't find it. Age range of the jury. Any young folks? Well, you can see here there were some young people, but they were not they weren't dropped. They had to leave because they got COVID. So Casey Cianci, K. I want to say that in an Italian way. I don't know how to say that. Just wondering, all opinions welcome. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends what you're talking about, but of course, I mean, whether you agree with the verdict or don't agree with the verdict, I mean, I'm not here to tell you how to believe. So, tell you what to believe. Question, any other stories you could tell us before, but now it's over, you can? Yes, yeah, but as you can tell, I'm actually really tired. I mean, I got up really early because I was meeting with some people before court. So I actually got up at 5:30 and then got to court around 7. So I do want to share more stories like that, but I kind of want to share them tomorrow, if that's okay. But I'll answer more questions about today. Was there a reaction to verdict in the gallery? No. The bailiff told us specifically not to react at all. We couldn't. So people were very careful about that. But you could tell what the reactions were going to be because after court, people were cheering outside and everything. So, yeah, I'm sorry to I sound exhausted. Shoot, I probably do. This is I appreciate sorry for the replay crew and everything who are listening like, "Why do you sound so tired? You sound awful." Well, yeah, because been driving probably 3 hours today, sitting in that media room after court when I thought I was going to get to eat but I didn't, so it's fine. Mama Mojo, we appreciate your dedication, integrity, and voice for all of us to enjoy. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate that. Yeah, there is sentencing tomorrow, which I'm going to go to. Okay, so Tinsley was there. I just didn't see it was crazy and it was packed and it was busy that courtroom. I didn't see everyone that was there. All right, y'all are being really nice. I'm seeing a lot of people telling me to go to bed. So maybe I will do that. I mean, it's coming up on an hour anyway. Y'all probably want to go to bed. Gina wants to know, do I think he was guilty? I think he was guilty in a way. I think he knew some of it and it was involved in some ways. So, but let's do a stream right after court tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be lunch or later in the afternoon, but let's do it after sentencing. I'll have everything a little bit more prepared. Come with questions and everything from today, from yesterday, from all the juror reactions, whatever you have. Send me them on Twitter, send me them on YouTube comments, things like that. I'll try to save them. Also, put them in the chat for the next stream. I might be going over to Emily's stream just to listen if they are still streaming on Rob's chat. So I appreciate y'all coming in here. Probably I will stream either an hour and a half or 2 hour. Yeah, either right after they're done, like within an hour and a half, if it's around lunch, or if it's later than lunch, maybe I'll just do it again like 6:30. So let's do that. Appreciate you all. I'm sorry it's a really short stream. I was hoping I could talk about more things, but it's actually just kind of tiresome right now. All right, I'll let y'all chat in the chat and say goodnight and talk to each other. So I'll leave that up for a little bit and then close it out. All right, good night, y'all. Be well.